Okay, students, please, let's practice now one by one. Listen and repeat. Please, that's it. I'm going to choose some students and you have to read. That's it. Okay, so let's start. Let's listen, please.
So of course, I love Paris.
People say.
And the food is better.
The Eiffel Tower is taller than the Gherkin.
2.
Okay, number one, please could you read Juanita, please could you read the first sentence here? I think I want to listen. Please, Galia, could you read the first sentence? Galia, please. Christian, could you read? Please, Andy. The first sentence. No? What happened, students? Please, Fabiana, could you read the first sentence? Fabiana? No? Okay. Please volunteer the students. I want to see your hands if you want to participate. Please, your hands. Who wants to read the first sentence? I want to listen to your pronunciation. Okay, please, come on. Oh, we are waiting.
I think the Eiffel Tower is taller than the Gherkin.
Okay, very good. Let's continue the next, please.
The underground's more expensive than the metro.
Okay, please. Number two, could you read, Nati?
Okay, Miss. The underground is more expensive than the metro.
Okay, the next, number two, let's continue. Listen.
3.
Paris is warmer than London.
Okay, please could you read now? Ivan? Ivan, please. Kevin, please could you read? Kevin Bella. Paris.
¿El que yo escribí, Miss?
No. The sentence that we listen in the text script. Paris is
Warmer than London.
Paris is warmer than London, right? Okay. Or maybe if you did something different, also Paris is wetter than London, right? Wetter, más húmedo, right? The next, please, talking about the buildings, let's listen. Okay, here we have two examples. Paris in the text script. Paris is warmer than London. Let's listen to the next.
4. Paris is wetter than London.
Right, isn't it?
5. I think the buildings in Paris are more beautiful.
Okay, talking about buildings, please, could you read that sentence? Aranibar Andrea. Please, Andrea. Alejandra. No? Please. Sheida.
See me.
Come on.
I think the buildings
In Paris.
in Paris are more beautiful.
Are more beautiful. Are more beautiful. That's it, right? I think the buildings in Paris are more beautiful. Ok, eso también se puede decir, chicas, como dice el audio, ¿no? I think the buildings in that case, plural, in Paris are more beautiful, ¿no? Estamos hablando de una ciudad, ¿no? En este caso, de París. Bien. Y de sus edificios, ¿no? Las construcciones que tienen, en especial de más famosos. I think the buildings in Paris are more beautiful. Ok. Es una oración. De repente no está directamente el dan, ¿no? Comparando, ¿cierto? Pero si ustedes se fijan, estoy usando un comparativo. More beautiful, aplicando las reglas, ¿no ven? Entonces también se puede, también es correcto. Okay? I think the buildings in Paris are more beautiful. Estoy comparando, bueno, estoy quizá diciendo así de que París tiene más bonitos, sin decir que los otros no, ¿cierto? Pero I think the people in London are more, it was something like this, are nicer, right? That's it. Right? Okay, please could you read, Wendy? Wendy, please. Please, Claudia Tawichi, could you read? Come on, Claudia.
Sí, Miss.
Could you read the last sentence?
I think the people
I think the people, Dion.
I think the people in London are nice.
I nicer, right?
I
Here we have the
nice.
comparative, nicer. Yes, that's it. Thank you. So we have seen some different examples, right? Okay, and here we have. Entonces, de repente el audio ha sido distinto a quizás las oraciones que han hecho con Dan. Y como ustedes pueden ver, también son correctas, ¿sí, chicos? ¿Sí? Porque si bien hemos visto la gramática, algunos ejemplos, ¿cierto? Pero también pues, podemos armar nuestras oraciones comparativas de distinta forma, ¿no? Y aquí tenemos algunos ejemplos, right? Now, let's practice more. Let's have a look at the next exercise, number 4. Listen to Rob, an Englishman who lives and works in Paris. Complete his sentences. Okay, here we have 8 sentences that you have to listen and complete with the correct comparative adjective in that case. So please pay attention because you are going to listen now to Rob, who's an Englishman, and he lives and works in Paris. Let's start. Listen, please. Pay attention.
Tape script 9.4.
Well, I like both London and Paris, but they're very different cities. Take transport, for example. The metro is cheaper and easier to use than the underground. And the weather, well, Paris is certainly hotter than London. And Paris, in fact, is wetter than London. But in London, there are more wet days. What about the buildings? Well, people say that the architecture in Paris is more beautiful, but the buildings in London are more interesting. And living in the two cities, well, life is faster in London. And the people, Londoners are generally more polite than Parisians. People in London work harder and they earn more. In Paris, having a good time is more important.
Okay, let's start again. Please, students, listen. And then you're going to tell me the correct adjectives.
Five. I think the buildings in Paris are more beautiful. 6.
I think the people in London are nicer.
Tape script 9.4.
Well, I like both London and Paris, but they're very different cities. Take transport, for example. The metro is cheaper and easier to use than the underground. And the weather, well, Paris is certainly hotter than London. And Paris, in fact, is wetter than London. But in London, there are more wet days. What about the buildings? Well, people say that the architecture in Paris is more beautiful, but the buildings in London are more interesting. And living in the two cities, well, life is faster in London. And the people, Londoners are generally more polite than Parisians. People in London work harder and they earn more. In Paris, having a good time is more important.
Okay, do you have the answers, students? Can we check? Are you ready? Yes or not? Okay, let's listen again, please, class. Okay, then you have to read one of these sentences. I'm going to choose the students, in that case, 8 students who are going to read. And please, that's why you have to listen carefully. And also you have to tell me the answers, please. Let's listen one more time.
London and nicer.
Tape script 9.4.
Well, I like both London and Paris, but they're very different cities. Take transport, for example. The metro is cheaper and easier to use than the underground. And the weather, well, Paris is certainly hotter than London. And Paris, in fact, is wetter than London. But in London, there are more wet days. What about the buildings? Well, people say that the architecture in Paris is more beautiful, but the buildings in London are more interesting. And living in the two cities, well, life is faster in London. And the people, Londoners are generally more polite than Parisians. People in London work harder and they earn more. In Paris, having a good time is more important.
Okay, please. Now you have to tell me the answers. Please, number 1, could you read Ivan? No, I want to see students. Please, your cameras. What are you doing? Come on, come on. Come on, are you doing the exercise? Are you playing a game, maybe? I want to see your answers. Okay, please. Could you read who? Pamela, please, Pamelita, could you read the first sentence?
Yes, miss. The metro is cheaper and easier to use than the underground.
Okay, here we have 2 adjectives, right? In only one sentence. Please, number 2, could you read Kevin?
Okay. Paris in century hotter than London.
Okay, very good. Certainly hotter than. Okay, please, number 3, could you read? You need to see your cameras. In that case, number 3, Natalie, please. I'm going to tell it one by one. Number 4, Ariana. Number 5, Jocelyn Quispe. Number 5, Jocelyn. Who? Wendy, please. Number 6, Wara. Number 7, Shirley. Number 8. Okay, please. Come on. Number 3. Let's start.
Okay, miss. Paris, in fact, is wetter than London, but in
Okay.
London there are more wet days.
But in London, there are more.
More weekdays.
Okay. Thank you. Please now. Number 4.
Okay, Miss, the architecture in Paris is more beautiful, but the buildings in London are more interesting.
Okay, very good. Let me write this. Are more interesting, right? Okay, number 5, please.
Life is faster in London.
Okay, very good. Faster. Fast. Number 6, please.
Londoners are generally more polite than Parisians.
Okay, yes, more polite than Parisians, right? Londoners, Parisians. Number 7, please.
People in London work hard and they earn more.
Okay, please could you repeat? People in London work.
People in London work hard and they earn more.
Okay, in that case, we have this comparative harder. Okay, people in London work harder and they earn more. Okay, yeah. And finally, number 8. Please. ¿Quién era el número 8?
Miss me dijo a mí.
Please, come on, could you read?
In Paris, having a good time is more important.
More important, very, yes. Let me write here again. People in London work harder and more. Okay, very good, students. Okay, exercise 5. Work with a partner, close your books, try to remember that Rob said. Okay, here we have this sentence, right? But maybe something else that you want to add. Something that he said before. Something interesting maybe that you want to add. No? Something? No? Well, in that case, the idea is that you have to close your book, right? And try to think all of these sentences. Try to remember. Miss, he said that Paris is certainly hotter than London, right? Okay. He said that. Another sentence, Miss, he said, imagine that we are everybody in our class, right? And with our books, well, having our books closed and thinking and trying to remember. Okay, Miss. Rob said that Londoners are generally more polite than Parisians or something. That's the idea, that's the activity. Please come on, I want to listen. You have to read the sentence, just this. Solo tienen que leer, ¿no? Pero diciendo, Miss, él dijo, he said, okay, he said that the metro is cheaper and easier to use than the underground, for example. ¿No? Estamos mencionando lo que él dijo. Please. Something. Come on.
He said Paris is certainly hotter than London.
Yeah, yes, he said that. Come on, one volunteer more.
He said life is farther in London.
Yeah, okay, thank you, students. Now, let's continue, please. We have the next activity. Oh, we have a game too. Let's continue. Practice. Comparing cities. Number 1, complete the conversations using the comparative form of the adjectives. Please, class, you have to remember now the grammar that you learned yesterday. So, please, complete. You have here, oh, it's like a conversation, right? So here you have, look at the adjective in brackets. You have to remember the rules and complete. For example, we have old, okay, only one adjective with one syllable. What do we have to do? We have to add ER. New York is older than London. What about the next? With this, you have 3 minutes for that exercise. Three minutes. Do we do it? Read carefully the adjectives that you have in brackets. Two minutes more. Please, students, that activity you have to write on our English notes. Please. You have to write on our virtual board. I want to see your answers there. Please. Everything that we are going to do in our book, something like this, some exercises, I need to see your writing. Okay. So that's why, please, you can write number 1, older than. Number 2, more modern. Oh, the next number 2, Tokyo is what? Right? Maybe only the answers. No problem, because I think that we don't have enough time, so you can write only the answers, but I need to see your answer there. Okay, please come on, come on. Finish? Can we check, students? Are you ready? Place your answers on our virtual board. 1 minute more, please, class. 1 minute. Ok, chicos, hablando de la página que tenemos, todos pueden escribir, ¿verdad? O no, o algo, o que no les habilita para escribir. Que les sale un mensajito o algo. Please, Veronica, could you tell me what happened? Can you write?
No, mi solo está lento, mi Celi, por eso no se puede.
Ah, ya. Ok,
Yo en sí.
ok. No problem. Sí, yo sé que a veces eso pasa, chicos. Ayer, por ejemplo, no cargaba, no podía ver su respuesta. Pero, ok. Si tienen ese problema, me avisan, ¿sí? Please.
Ok, Miss.
Okay, class, let me check. Let's start. Please, number 2, could you read? Lillian, please, could you read? Number 2. Tokyo is?
Miss,
Yes.
el primero, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Ya. Tokyo is cheaper than more expensive. ¿Verdad? ¿Verdad? Marcos?
Now, let's listen, please. Number 2. Tokyo is?
Cheaper than more.
Tokyo is cheaper. Very good. Cheaper. What? Cheaper. Tokyo is?
Than more.
No, again. Tokyo is? Repeat, please.
Cheaper than tobacco.
Okay. I can listen something. Maybe somebody is talking next to you. Please. I'm not sure, but I listen something like that. Okay, but it's okay. Tokyo is cheaper than Bangkok. Yeah, very good. What about the next one, please, Lydian, again? No, it isn't. Cheaper than, okay. No, it isn't. Tokyo's much
More expensive.
more expensive. Very good. Much more expensive. When do we use much? Please, class, when do we use much? ¿Cómo usamos much? ¿Para qué nos sirve el much? Can you identify? Much more expensive, right? Okay, very good. But what does this much mean here? ¿Cuándo lo usamos?
Cuando
¿Recuerdan?
se tiene incontables.
Ya, sí, pero también el día de ayer hemos revisado la gramática, ¿no ve? ¿Qué decía del much? ¿Para qué usamos? For what? Y también tenemos otra opción similar, right? We have much and a lot too. We can say no, it isn't. Tokyo's much more expensive, or we can say no, it isn't. Tokyo's a lot more expensive, right? But what's the meaning of much here? ¿Cuándo lo vamos a usar o qué significa? Can you remember? Hello, class.
Es caro, Miss.
¿Qué?
Cuando la
Algo es
comparación
caro.
es
Sí, ok, aquí estamos diciendo que es caro, sí, y tenemos también este match que nos da una ayudadita extra, ¿no? A nuestra oración. No, it isn't.
tal vez
Tokyo's. Tell me, please.
sorry. Tal vez cuando se explica que algo es mucho más caro en
Ajá.
este caso.
Yes, very good. No, it's like to say something that with more emphasis, right? Cuando queremos dar, cuando hablamos de algo así, pero con mucho más énfasis, ¿cierto? Ah, es mucho más, ¿no? Y también tenemos la opción de usar a lot, ¿cierto? Entonces, eso que les decía, lo hemos visto en la gramática el día de ayer, ¿sí, chicos? Si no estaban, pueden ir a las grabaciones, van a estar en YouTube, ¿sí? Match, ¿ok? Entonces no se asusten si va a estar el match, digamos, ¿no ve? Pero cuidado se confundan y solo me pongan el match, digamos, no, ¿ok? El match nos ayuda solo para dar más énfasis a nuestra oración, ¿ok? No, it isn't, talk is much more expensive. Lo mismo se va a mantener, la forma comparativa se mantiene. Match es como que un plus nomás, una ayudadita. ¿Para qué? Para dar más énfasis, ¿ok? Thank you. Now, the next, please. Number 3. Please, Galia. Hello, Galia. Oh, we don't have time. I know. We have to do another activity. Please, come on, Galia. No? Okay, please. I'm going to do that, I think. If maybe you are in class at the beginning, right? But during the class, if I need your participation and you aren't here, don't worry. No, in that case, you have to be worried because I'm going to write like an absent. Okay, and not maybe you aren't doing the activity or you are doing something else and it's not good. So that's why, students, please. Sí, chicos, de repente se van a recibir alguna llamada de dirección o algo. No se sorprendan, ¿sí? Si es que les llama la atención, digamos, no está en clase o, no, o ha entrado tarde, ¿sí? Porque si bien saben que la asistencia es al inicio, sí. Pero durante la lección necesito escucharlos, por favor, please, ¿ok? Entonces, si es que no van a estar, entonces me hacen entender que están haciendo otra cosa y no están atendiendo. En estos casos voy a tener que poner nomás su inasistencia o que no me están, o que no sé, que están haciendo otra cosa o algo así. No es correcto, ¿sí, chicos? De repente sí los he tolerado hasta el anterior nivel porque yo sé que era como un repaso del anterior nivel, ustedes mismos se han dado cuenta. Sí, de repente eran muchas cosas que conocían, muchos temas, principalmente los tiempos, pero en este día no, ¿sí? Entonces, notas bajas, chicos, de repente van a, digamos que no, justo entre gramática en su examen, es lo más probable, digamos que se confundan en algo, ya, directo me voy a comunicar a sus casas. Ya, entonces, eso, por favor, voy a anticipar mis clases, como los pequeñitos de kinder, ¿no? No hizo su tarea así. Please, students. Okay. Number 3, any volunteer?
Miss.
Come
on. Seoul is bigger than Beijing.
Okay, very good. What about the next one? B. No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Seoul is much smaller.
Very good. Yes, let me write. Is bigger than. Seoul is much smaller. Yes. Okay. Please, number 4, another volunteer. Please, Kevin, come on. And after that, please, I don't know who's talking. ¿Quién más? Levanta su manito. Please. After that, Veronica, okay? Okay, Kevin first. Number 5, Veronica.
Okay.
Come on, Kevin, number 4.
Johannesburg is safer than Cape Town.
Okay, is safer, very good, than Cape Town. Okay, the next.
No, it isn't. It's much more dangerous.
Is much, okay, more dangerous. Okay, yes, very good. Please now, number 5, Veronica.
Taxi drivers in New York are better than taxi drivers in London.
Okay, very good. Better.
And better than.
The next.
No, they aren't. They are much worse. But
Worse. Very good. Yes, that's it. Please now, let's listen, students. Check your answers, okay?
Tape script 9.5. Comparing cities.